to HorseRacingNation.com's coverage of the 2013 Kentucky Derby, and this is our final video. Once again, I'm joined by Ryan Patterson.
Right, and this is our final video indeed, and this race is so wide open that your winner might be in this group of horses we're talking about.
And the first horse we're going to mention could be that winner, Oxbow, for trainer D. Wayne Lucas.
Right, and he deserves some forgiveness for his last race. They took him off the pace, which is something that he does not want to do. Turning for home, he got stuck behind a wall of horses, had dirt kicked all on his face, and when he finally got clear, he finished up a little bit. Now, this is a horse that's been hung out on the outside every time this year. If he can get a middle pack post, somewhere like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, get there up near the pace, stay out of trouble, don't be surprised to see Oxbow, the three-quarter sibling to Painter, the Haskell Invitational winner, find himself as the next winner of the Kentucky Derby.
He does scare me a little bit because you mentioned, of the things you mentioned, he's been hung out in bad posts, I think maybe 5 times in his last 6 starts or something. Right. He's been in post 10 or further out, and last time he broke slow under Gary Stevens, he split the 10-horse field, and now Stevens knows him, and Lucas is going to keep him aboard and said they're not going to make that mistake again. Interesting that both career wins, he went wire to wire. And I'm thinking maybe they think that they want to try to get out to the front or close to the pace.
Yeah, Oxbow needs to be on the engine. If he's not within, if he's not second, third, fourth, fifth early, I would be very, very worried if my money was on him.
That's true. In the Rebel Stakes, he did stalk the pace. He said about 3 lengths back, but he just missed. But I think he's best if he can they just let him run. He's a free running horse.
Exactly.
He wants to go,
Right.
and if he can get into that kind of rhythm, no reason based on pedigree that he can't get the distance, and he's got the right connections, and he's shown enough ability that he could surprise.
And for as much ability as Oxbow has shown, I'm not so sure we've seen his best race yet.
He's one, like I said, he's like one of my bubble contenders, but he does scare me a little bit here. I think that if he runs the race, if he runs his race, that he's up on the pace.
It's within the realm of possibility.
It is.
Absolutely.
Now we're going to kind of talk about a cluster of horses that are down towards the bottom that may or may not run in the Derby. Falling Sky, the next one, who's another one that could show some speed.
He's another pace factor, and he's out of his mare is by a Kentucky Derby winner, Sea Hero. He's got a lot of early speed, but it looks like he's just going to go up there and probably hit a brick wall when they turn for home.
He looks like that sort of a cut below the best.
Right.
He'll be forwardly placed, but he can't outfinish anybody, and he's not quick enough to outfoot him early.
Exactly.
And he a couple of.
He reminds me of like a Sharp Humor or a Keyed Entry type of horse.
Yeah, I think you're right. Charming Kitten for Todd Pletcher.
Charming Kitten, wow, the Ramseys, they just broke the record for wins by an owner at Keeneland, and they could not be any hotter if they tried. But that said, Kitten's Joy is mostly known as a turf sire. He's had some horses with success on dirt, but Charming Kitten's going to have to show me that he can do it first.
Yeah, I agree. He did okay in his last start, finishing 3rd. He got enough points. I just think maybe he's more like a turf synthetic type horse, and he's going to struggle against his competition. Code West for Baffert has 20 points. He's another one on the bubble.
Right, Code West, he ran well in the Risen Star, was second, I believe, beaten by that big long shot. Whose name I don't know.
I Struck a Nerve.
I Struck a Nerve, thank you. Code West, I'm going to have to go with Pretender.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. I don't even know if Baffert's going to go in this race.
Yeah, I believe he could be pointing to the Peter Pan at Belmont Park.
That might be a better spot for him at this stage. Tis a Minister with 20 points. He's another one sitting right there on the bubble.
And California bred by some obscure stallion most people have never heard of. No way, not happening.
I think he's out too.
No offense to California breds, but this is the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, he'll probably be last early, and he'll pass the tired horses probably. Another horse that just picked up a victory in the Lexington Stakes, a winning cause for trainer Todd Pletcher, but that made him 3 for 3 at Keeneland, and he hasn't won anywhere else.
Right, Todd Pletcher might go just because he can. He could have 6 or 7 horses before everything's said and done. Wow.
That's true. Just because you're right, just because he can.
Right, yeah.
He may
lock the competition out.
He's going to have half the field in here.
Yeah.
And he'll have horses coming from every direction, on the lead, in the middle, and in the back.
Coordinated.
He'll have it all covered. A Golden Soul only has 14 horses, but he's at Churchill Downs. He's training there. He just had to work the other day. Dallas Stewart wants him in the race.
Right, yeah. A horse by Perfect Soul is not going to win the Kentucky Derby. I apologize to breeder Charles Fipke, but not happening. Charles Fipke also owned and bred Java's War, so you got a shot with that one, maybe, but not with Golden Soul.
Yeah, for Golden Soul, a couple of times when he ran in Louisiana, I considered him underneath in the Super. I think the Derby's a very ambitious spot for him. Another pretender.
Right. And that's not to say that these aren't good horses. Yeah. The fact that we're even talking about them means that they're exceptional animals. But, you know, there are many thousands of horses born every year, and only one of them is going to win the Kentucky Derby.
That's true, and just sneaking in with only 14 points,
Yeah.
that would be a bit of a shocker. So of the horses we just mentioned in this video, who do you think is the biggest threat?
Oxbow, I think other than him, none of them have even a small chance.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's true. Oxbow, he scares me a little bit. It's Lucas, it's Stevens.
I think Oxbow is a legitimate Kentucky Derby contender. The other ones are total pretenders.
I agree, and if he gets out there on that pace, look out, he could surprise. Now, out of all the horses that we mentioned, maybe your top one out of all of them, or maybe your top three that you consider the biggest threats up to this point before their final workouts.
Wow, you didn't tell me you were going to ask this, Jared. So I have to make a preliminary pick. Without thinking about it, I'm just going to say it's my lucky day. He's fast, you know. I want a fast horse and I want a good price, and I'm going to get both of them with him.
Yeah, you definitely are, and
that's a preliminary choice. I reserve the right to change my mind.
Then I agree with he's fast enough based on those risk numbers that we're looking at. He's quick enough to be with these horses. If he can run that same Florida race in Kentucky, he's going to be right there throughout. I'm going to stick with Revolutionary at this point, but I'm still going to wait for those final works before I make up my final decision. But so far, so good. I'll pick him.
Call me 5 minutes before post, and I'll let you know who I like.
Yeah, we'll shoot a video right before post, and we'll try to get it on, and you can watch it and see who we pick. Okay, so that'll wrap up our coverage of the Kentucky Derby. And this is HorseRacingNation.com handicapper Jared Horak. Thank you very much, Ryan Patterson, for joining me on these videos. And we've done other videos in the past with the prep races. And hope you watch all these videos, and I hope it leads you to some winners.
Right. Let's get it with home.